Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 2 of my F122 alternate universe career mode. I don't know what we're calling this series, but I guess we're calling it that now. We're at Mexico today for the Mexican Grand Prix. If you did miss last episode at Brazil, be sure to go and check out the season opener. Crazy race, safety cars, we had changeable conditions, everything you'd expect from Brazil. We have, however, had an upgrade fail. This is our engine power upgrade, so we're going to want to get that in. That'll come in for, not for Mexico, but it should come in for the Grand Prix after that, which is the US Grand Prix. We also have a front downforce upgrade coming in, and we're going to go ahead and purchase this weight redistribution upgrade. And since we have the extra resource points, we might as well get the reliability upgrade as well. So yeah, looking pretty good going into this next race. Plenty of upgrades coming in, and we're still not bottom on the, I'm going to say third. We're third from bottom on the performance comparison chart. So we're doing alright. Not too much time between these Grand Prix. A bit of a double header as we start things off in this kind of American continent leg, as we start in South America, going up to North America now. And we're going to go straight into qualifying then, no messing about. Here we are, going towards the end for our last qualifying run in Q1. And this needs to be a good lap, as we have one of the Andretti Haas cars in front of us. I'm not sure if it's Schumacher or Magnussen. I think it's Schumacher. I have a feeling. But we got a toe off him down the straight, but he's holding us up a little bit here. Once again, we're going to get a nice toe here. Look at that delta fly down. But yeah, if he's going to hold us up through the corners, it's not going to matter how much toe we get. And you can see that's pretty much exactly what's happening, as we give him a little nudge to tell him, look, get on with it. We've got a qualifying lap to do. The Haas car should be quicker than me, and I have got the difficulty set a lot higher than what I had it in my previous career mode. And yeah, that happens. He just parks it on the apex, and we now have to finish this lap with front wing damage going all over the curbs. We are gaining still, so we might as well carry on, see if we can gain, but it doesn't look like it, especially around this last kind of really tight stadium section. And we're going all over the curbs, go into the last corner. There's no turning whatsoever with that front wing, and yeah, it's not going to be an improvement. Thankfully we did a couple of banker laps, and that was actually enough to get us into P17 actually, so not bad at all. But yeah, looking at the performance comparison chart going into the weekend, the Andretti Haas cars are quite a lot quicker than us, so I don't know, maybe I just had the difficulty too low, but we'll see. Let's see what happens as we go into the Grand Prix.
Welcome to Mexico City, the most popular city in North America, and home, of course, to the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd as usual here at one of the shortest circuits on the Formula One calendar. And who, I wonder, will they be cheering on the top step of today's podium? The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 2.6 miles of track that allows drivers to take full advantage of their cars, reaching speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour. And providing lots of opportunities for overtaking. The circuit features 17 corners, 10 to the right and the remaining 7 going to the left. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Hamilton, Sergio Perez and Russell, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Ocon and Daniel Ricciardo, Joe, Magnussen, Valtteri Bottas and Gasly, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Evans and Sebastian Vettel, Albon, Stroll, Latifi and Roy Nissany, That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
So a couple of issues with my modded overalls and driver caps, I think, especially for the Haas team. Not quite sure what's going on there, but anyway, it's just going to be the one-stop strategy for us. We're not going to do anything crazy here. We're in P17 and wait for those 5 red lights to go out, and away we go for the Mexican Grand Prix then. And it's not a terrible start by my standard, actually, although we do kind of get swamped in the second phase. I think I was just a little bit late kind of gripping up the rears and getting that ERS deployed as we charge between the 2 Toyotas, and one of the Jaguars there as well. And apparently we did 3 illegal overtakes. I'm not sure what that's all about. Completely confused me, that. I don't know how those overtakes were illegal, but either way, slowing down to let them back past us demoted us right to the back of the grid. It's like deja vu all over again. We had this very same situation at Brazil last episode, where we quickly overtake Albon and then nip right up the inside of Lance Stroll in that Toyota and see if we can pull ahead, and we can. So on a bit of a recovery drive already to try and get back up to P17 at least where we started, but we've got his teammate in front of us up next. Hopefully he's not going to put up too much of a fight for us. Let's see then as we come down this kind of little back straight. We're going to look up the inside. The gap will close in, but we're committed, and his teammate does give us the space, and that's us back up into P19 then. Latifi ahead and Sebastian Vettel in that other Toyota car, so we're going to be wanting to get straight back on and chasing after them and working his way back up through this grid. As we move forward then on to lap 3, end of lap 2 on to lap 3, and we've got a little bit of a run on Latifi in that BMW powered Williams. We're in the slipstream using plenty of ERS. We're going to feint to the right, go to the left, late on the brakes, but he goes right into the middle of the corner and kind of parks his car awkwardly, but we go round the outside to the inside for the next corner, and that's another car ticked off, and we can go chasing after the Toyota of Sebastian Vettel now. So yeah, we just need to keep his head down and keep doing this. It looks like there's a little bit of a train still. It's early in this race, so we should be able to keep in touch and kind of carve his way through the field. As we come on to lap 4, we have a caution, and that's Fernando Alonso, and his engine's gone up in smoke, that V10 Renault engine, and he's going to be out of the session, which is unfortunate. We did say in the pre-season the V10s have had some issues with cooling because the rev's so high, and in this kind of thin Mexican air it's obviously not helping. But lap 6 then, this is Verstappen. He started on pole, he's lost out, so not sure what happened with him, but he overtakes George Russell and gets himself back into P2 in a very similar kind of copycat way. Sergio Perez, who also hasn't had a great start by the looks of things, he's challenging Esteban Ocon in that other Renault. Ocon giving him quite a hard time though, as they come down the second DRS zone then, and I don't think Ocon has DRS, but Checo does. He has a look around the outside of the left-hander to the inside of the right-hander. They're still side by side as they come into this kind of double apex corner, and Checo gets ahead and gets the job done. Few quiet laps for us really as we skip forward on to lap 9. Just kind of sticking with the train, waiting for his moment to strike, as Vettel's looking quite slow around this middle section, and we're going to open up the DRS then, a bit of ERS. We're going to look around the outside, see if we can make a move into the stadium section. Vettel with a big lock up there, and we just nip it up the inside, and that's us up into P16 then, with Fernando Alonso's retirement as well. And looks like we've got a bit of a scrap with Tsunoda and the Andretti Haas cars of Magnussen and Schumacher a little bit up ahead, but we skip forward onto lap 10. Listen to that V10 of the Renault of Esteban Ocon, and watch as he absolutely bottles it in T1 and takes out Daniel Ricciardo, and it causes a whole load of chaos there. You can see loads of cars kind of piling up, not sure what to do, myself included, and that's going to be a safety car on lap 10, that is. And Bottas also, I think he lost his front wing, so he retires. So yeah, that's 2 retirements already out of this race, and that's a big shame. And we're actually going to come in to the pits and get a free pit stop. It does mean we're going to have to take the hard tyres about 25 laps, so it's going to be a big ask, but this is what everyone else did, so we kind of have to do the same to cover them off. A couple of cars do continue on. I think it was the 2 BMW Williams of Latifi and Albon. They started on the hard tyres, so they carry on, but we actually jumped Tsunoda in the pits there, so I don't know if he had an issue or double stacked with Gasly. But here we are then, Verstappen leading once again, and then it's Hamilton in a Red Bull sandwich with Perez. Then you have Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Norris, Latifi as teammate Nissany, then it's Albon, Schumacher, and then myself in P12. And I just get caught napping a little bit on the restart, kind of fiddling about with my my MFD there, and yeah, we get absolutely humiliated on the safety car restart. We lose out to the cars in front, and Tsunoda just cruises past us on the straight as we just weren't paying attention, and we've got Ocon behind us as we go back round the outside of Tsunoda, or at least try to. We go around the outside on the chicane to the inside, and thankfully we kind of get back up into that P12 position. As we go on to lap 13 then, there's a little bit of chaos in front of us. It looks like Albon and Schumacher having a bit of a scrap. Albon still needs to pit, remember, he hasn't pit yet, so we don't need to worry too much about him, but he's doing a good job of slowing down Mick Schumacher for us, so thanks to him for that, I guess. It was really aggressive in the last race at Brazil, and it looks like he's just all over the shop in this race here, so I'm not sure what he's doing there, but we're trying to take advantage of him slowing Schumacher down, trying to kind of nip it round the outside if we can, but we just get caught up on the curb, a bit of wheel spinning, we don't quite get the exit, and we'll need to be very careful around here, because I'm having a bit of deja vu from qualifying when we lost a bit of his front wing. But we carry on towards lap 15 this is, and it looks again like Albon and Schumacher are scrapping, and this time we can capitalise. We just nip it up the inside, a bit of understeer though. I think we took Schumacher's end plate off on his front wing there, but I'm not too bothered because that's a bit of karma from qualifying, so yeah, karma I guess, but it's not ideal, but it does get us up a position. So we're now on the back of Albon as teammate Nissany up there as well. He hasn't actually pit, so he started on the mediums, but he didn't pit under the safety car, so I don't know why, but that were a bit of a rookie error, I guess. He is a rookie after all. But we go on to lap 16 then, and we actually get Albon round the outside of the double apex right-hander, and we keep it on the tarmac this time and get the exit that we need. We hold it defensive into the left-hander, and there we go then, up into the points positions now, up into P10, as a few of the cars have been displaced with all the chaos. And on the very next lap our teammate actually comes into the pits, so that's us up into P8 now, as I think one of the Mercedes pitted as well, so one of the Mercedes doing a 2-stop, I think it's Hamilton, I'm not 100% sure. But up into P8, and Latifi has a 5-second penalty, so we're P7 as it stands, provisionally that is, with Latifi's penalty, and I think he needs to pit anyway, so we're looking at a net P7 if we can just hold it together. But that Jaguar of Tsunoda behind us is looking very, very quick, especially in a straight line when he's got DRS open. We come into T1, we send it back down the inside, the gap closes, but we just nip it through as we go side by side, pinch him in tight there onto the apex. That's going to ruin his exit a little bit, but he's going to have this second bite of DRS. In this second DRS zone, he's going to look up the inside and just cruise straight past us. We switch back to the inside to have a look, but yeah, that's him. He's got the job done as Tsunoda on us. We were battling with him all, well, towards the back end of last race, and we've been battling with him all this race, so maybe a rivalry forming in the early stages of this new season. But we carry on through the lap then. We're looking to re-overtake him as we come into the stadium section, but we just give him a little tap on the rear, and that sends the rear of my car all out of shape. And now we've got Ocon right up as chuff, and I'm getting all flustered with all the things going on here. Ocon sends it up as inside there, and we've got a very quick looking Sauber Audi behind us, and he's on soft tyres as Zhou Guanyu, so maybe we don't have to worry about him, so I'm sure he'll be pitting again. He won't be going to the end of the race on those softs. But we were looking at a net P7, we're now down into P11 in the matter of a lap, so things not going great for us. Hopefully we can get back into the points. The race isn't over yet, we've still got 16 laps to go, plenty of time to make a recovery. And speaking of recovering, Zhou Guanyu goes into the pits. We're at least back into the points for now, with all these other cars kind of out of place. And just up ahead of us, we actually have Tsunoda and Ocon. They're having a bit of a scrap as they go side by side into T1. Can Ocon get around the corner without spinning it? Yes, he can, and they continue to go side by side. Jaguar fighting with a Renault. When was the last time you saw these two liveries sharing a track in Formula 1? As they come down this second DRS zone then, Ocon has the rear wing open, and he manages just to get ahead of Tsunoda, or does he, as they go side by side, but Ocon nips it back up the inside, and he's ahead of Tsunoda. And you can see me in the background with their scrapping. I've caught right back up to them, and I'm right on the back of Tsunoda. But a quick update in the race then, it's now actually Charles Leclerc who leads from George Russell, who's in a bit of a Ferrari sandwich with Sainz, and then it's Norris in P4, and then you've got Verstappen in P5 on the medium tyres, so I assume he's done a two-stop then, and you've got Perez behind also on medium tyres, so yeah, I think they've done a two-stop, as Verstappen, he has the rear wing open on lap 27, right up the rear of Lando Norris in that Vodafone McLaren Mercedes, as they come into T1 then onto this second straight, and we're going to have a good look at what's going on. And you can hear that gorgeous V8 sound from that Mercedes power unit as Verstappen pulls alongside Lando Norris to go side by side into the right hander. Verstappen just about has his nose in front, and as they come into the next corner, Verstappen gets the job done. Meanwhile, back to our POV on lap 30, right on the back of Tsunoda, and it looks like Ocon's kind of just left after overtaking Tsunoda, but those two battling actually let us catch up to Tsunoda once again. So we're in P9 then, as the Williams of Latifi came in for his pit stop, and we'll be looking to make it P8 as we get alongside Tsunoda, as he goes a little bit wide onto the that kind of curb there, loses a little bit of grip, and we manage just to nip it up the inside of that double apex right-hander, and that's us then up into P8, and we can press on and trying to get a gap between ourselves and this other Jaguar car. So P8, if we can keep this to the end of the race, that would be an absolutely amazing result for us. As on lap 31, Sergio Perez, he's on the attack. He's closed down a 6-second gap in 4 laps, and he has a go at Lando Norris, but why not make it 2 as he goes up the inside of his teammate as well, up into P4 at his home Grand Prix. Absolutely unbelievable stuff from Perez there. I don't know if Verstappen has some kind of mechanical issue or something, or if he was just fighting a lot with Lando Norris. But yeah, Checo closing down the 6-second gap in 4 laps. Absolutely incredible stuff. And it gets even better for the Mexican fans, as Charles Leclerc, his V10 engine in the back of that Ferrari, that goes up in smoke. It just couldn't cope maybe with the heat and the thin air of Mexico, not being able to kind of get that engine cooled, and that's going to put this man Sergio Perez up into the podium positions at his home Grand Prix here in Mexico City. Amazing stuff. You love to see that You don't love to see Ferrari go up in smoke, but it's nice for Sergio Perez at least. Back to our POV then, on lap 33, going on to lap 34, and this is where Charles Leclerc pulled over. And that's going to be another free position for us, so we're looking at a possible P7 to finish this race. That is, of course, if we can keep that Jaguar of Yuki Tsunoda behind us as we come on to the second to last lap, and we go side by side as he has the DRS, the rear wing open, and he cruises past us. But we come into T1, he has a massive lift and coast on the entry in the corner. I think he's trying to save fuel maybe, as we re-overtake him then. And this is looking all a bit deja vu to me. Remember last race at Brazil where we were fighting on the last laps for position? Same thing here once again in Mexico as we come on to the very last lap of the Grand Prix, and once again Tsunoda is going to have that rear wing open, is going to cruise past us. We have the same power unit, of course, both of us running the Honda V6 power unit, and we're going to have to do something special into T1 as we absolutely send it. Tsunoda with another big lift and coast into that corner. So even after the safety car, I think Tsunoda was struggling with fuel a little bit as they were lifting off a good 50 metres before the actual braking point, but he's going to come back here as he has a little look up the inside, a little sniff, but he doesn't commit to the move. And now we've just got to park it on every apex and not let Tsunoda past. For the last lap of this Grand Prix, it'll be a P7 finish for us, a first points finish of only the second time of asking in this season, with all the DNFs we've seen. I think a load of cars kind of out of position on different strategies, and we just kind of made the most of it. And if we can finish this race off, we'll be alright. But here's Tsunoda, he's looking up the inside into the stadium section. We're pinching him tight, a little bit of contact's made. That's given us some floor damage, but we only have 2 corners to go then to finish off this Mexican Grand Prix in P7 for his first points paying position finish of this season for IY Ginetta Racing. And we're just going to beat out the Jaguar to the line once again, like we did in Brazil. And that's an amazing result for us. I am more than happy, more than chuffed with a P7 position finish for the Mexican Grand Prix.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners.
So in the end, George Russell gets his first ever career Grand Prix win in this alternate Formula 1 universe here at Mexico. He's got Carlos Sainz on the podium, and of course, most importantly, we've got Sergio Perez on the podium for his home Grand Prix. But a really good result for Mercedes Monster AMG Formula 1 team. As a race win for him at the early stages of this season. I wonder how that's gonna play out in the championship points wise. We'll have a quick look at that, but we'll look at DNFs, 3 DNFs, well 4 if you count Leclerc, and they were all kind of the top teams: a McLaren, a Renault, a Ferrari, one of the Audi Saubers as well, who were quite high up on the performance charts. So we just took advantage of those kind of 3 points positions, I guess, and managed to bring it home in P7. So Lewis Hamilton out of place as well, down in P12. So really strong race for us, that one. And Lance Stroll in the Toyota as well, getting 2 points, and the Jaguar was doing pretty well there too. So it wasn't just a fluke. Obviously Toyota below us on the performance charts, but that puts us up into P9 then with 6 points, just behind Esteban Ocon in the Renault, and then we've got Alonso behind us, and then Tsunoda and Gasly, the 2 Jaguars, and then a couple of guys with a couple of points, and his teammate yet to score. But that puts us P6 in the Constructors, and amazing result. And with that, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that, and it'll help you catch up when I upload these episodes. But until the next one, guys, take care, and I'll see you then.